Merry Christmas. This is Sue with MageeNews.com, and Martha Smith is with me today. Earlier we were discussing how we had to be careful what we ate during the holidays. But when I was talking to Martha, I was asking her to give me some suggestions of perhaps something that I could put in my grandchildren's stockings, or things that I needed to do to help them during the times I'll have them during the holidays. And your children are now home for the holidays and for 2 weeks. What are you going to be feeding them? And Martha's going to give us some suggestions on how to help your children during the holidays.
We all need to be aware of our portions. We in Mississippi, unfortunately, don't know the correct portions, so we need to serve the appropriate portions for our children. Their plate should be full of green leafy vegetables and fruits, 2/3. One small lean meat. It's okay for them to have starches, just not an abundance of starches. Cookies are okay, but first of all, they shouldn't serve as a reward. It's good just to include as part of the meal and not kind of treat them with that, because it's a better treat is to have a good family walk after a large meal. Offer them a trip to the park for accomplishments they've done instead of giving them food, because people in Mississippi, we are, of course, the #1 state in obesity in children and adults.
And you know, I think we all, growing up, we equate, you know, getting food with I've been good.
Right.
You know, it's a good thing. Those are great suggestions, to go to the park or take them outside, or say, if you eat all your vegetables, instead of you're going to get ice cream, we're going to go for a family walk. That's a great idea. What are some things that I could put in my grandchildren's stockings?
Well,
besides an orange.
Okay. Well, I think the fresh fruit. I do not like a lot of the processed foods because they do have preservatives in them. There are some healthy snacks, and in moderation, lean toward more the whole foods. The less ingredients on the labels, the better. You know, if you can't pronounce it, my philosophy is don't eat it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, you know, we always are into the oranges and the apples and all that, and the nuts, with you know, that type of thing. And I think that always makes good. But I'm always amazed at the people who do. But, you know, we would go in the grocery store, and they would have a stocking that would hang from the ceiling, and it was totally full of candy or something like that. And it's a mindset. It's just a change. And it interests me that you talk so much about processed foods. So that must kind of be your thing.
It is. I think we need to get back to the foods that God made and live more like God intended us to live, instead of sitting on the couch, watching TV, driving through McDonald's. He intended us to really work for our food and be active, and prepare our foods from whole ingredients, and not buy foods that have been on the shelf for a while that have all kinds of preservatives.
Have you always felt this way? When did you get like this?
Well, I started about 10 years ago. I had a little scare with my heart.
Okay.
And it kind of started me thinking about what food does to us. And Hippocrates said food is medicine, you know.
Right.
And I believe that. So I think we can take medicines for a lot of things, but we can also go back and do it the natural way and live kind of how we're supposed to live, and treat our body like we should, and then we wouldn't have all the problems, or a lot of the problems.
Don't you find, though, that people don't really want that to be the answer? They want the pill.
Yeah.
I want a pill, and I want to be skinny.
That's
I don't
right.
want to not have to not give up anything.
Right.
I just want to take that
And
pill.
we wanted it immediately.
That's right. Just like this, all the way around. It is. I think it'll be interesting for all of us to, maybe with our New Year's resolutions, which we're going to talk about in another tape, we'll be thinking about the processed foods. I've always, like I said, I referred to my sister earlier, but I've always kind of made fun of how she does about it. But I'm going to tell you, she is really a believer in this, and I'm thinking, uh-oh. That's just where she comes from, is it makes such a difference. Do you do this with your children?
I do. It's funny. I'm going to have to brag on them. One of them was at college and came home because they didn't have any green vegetables in the cafeteria, so he came home to eat. So that kind of impressed me and let me know that I was doing what I was supposed to be doing.
I can't believe you have a child in college, though. I mean, you don't look, I thought you were going to say, my 10-year-old. I mean, you go to your college, and I'm like, I don't know. You know, and I had none in the cafeteria.
vegetables. They're both into the healthier eating, and they both work out and exercise. And the other one's favorite meal is salmon. So, yeah, I feel like I've done my job.
Yeah, you did. You succeeded well in that. Well, think about this during the holidays, and as you're preparing for your stocking for Christmas or your grandchild's stocking, some things that you can give to them in that stocking that might help them and set them on a way of making a change this year. I hope you'll have a great new year and you'll enjoy these holidays, and you will take time to go outside with your children and play with them and keep them outside and make Martha happy. Don't let them sit in front of the TV. And another thing we were talking about, and I have to add this to the end of this, is, so often people say, well, it's too cold for them to go outside. And I wanted you to hear what she was telling me.
Well, I think that it's fine to go outside. That's not where they get a cold. A lot of things weaken people's immune system, but they would be better off putting an extra layer on, putting something over their head, gloves on, and playing outside and getting that exercise, because that actually boosts their immune system. It'll help them keep off the excess weight and help them burn off some of that excess energy instead of sitting in the house.
Yes,
complaining.
That's right. Well, now we've got to eat healthy, run around the block, and all that type of thing. But no, I do think it's great if we'll be serious in our own health, with our own health, and with our children's health. I hope you'll have a wonderful new year, and I just have such a blessed Christmas. We're also fortunate in Magee to have our hospital. We have a wonderful hospital with great doctors and nurse practitioners and nurses and technicians, and I'm going to leave somebody out and they're going to tell me. But anyway, we do have a great hospital at Magee, and if you have any questions, there's someone down there that can help you. And so don't ever hesitate to call. They'll get you to the right person, whatever it is that you need. Always think about Magee General Hospital.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're so welcome.